around 12 years now, I've been a big fan of Sonic. My exposure to him was back in 2011 when I saw a friend playing Sonic Generations. I thought it looked pretty fun, so I asked if I could play it and he gave me the controller. The sense of speed, the music, breaking all those badniks, all of that combined had me hooked before I even finished the level. Throughout the years, I've played a lot of the games. Old, new, some that I kinda wish that I didn't. Sonic played a very big part of my later childhood, especially the soundtracks. Every Sonic game that I've played has had a very memorable soundtrack for me. From Sonic 1's Spring Yard Zone, Sonic 3's Slime Battery, to Sonic Adventure 2's Live and Learn, which, even after all these years, still goes hard. But there's one game in particular that has more of a complicated story about its soundtracks. Yes, soundtracks with an S. That's because the game actually had two separate soundtracks, one for the US region, and the other for the Japan and PAL regions. That's what I'll be explaining today, although first I need to talk about the Sega CD. In December of 1991, Sega released the Sega CD, pretty much an add-on for the Genesis that allowed it to run Sega CD games, audio CDs, and CDG discs. Not only that, it also gave an extra processor as well as extra RAM. Basically, with all that combined, makes it serve as an upgrade. It went by 3 names, although each one is varied by region. In North America, it was called the Sega CD. In Japan, as well as other countries, it went by the Mega CD. But over in South Korea, it went by the name CD Aladdin Boy?
What?
In North America, it was at first set to be released in October of 1992, but it was delayed to November to give developers more time. At the launch of the Mega CD in Japan, there were only 2 titles, Soul Feast and Heavy Nova. North America got quite a bit more than Japan though. We got Soul Feast too, but we also got Black Hole Assault, Cobra Command, Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, and Sewer Shark. And the one that's more well known, Night Trap. Not all the launch titles were games though. They were in a way, but not in the same sense that Cobra Command or Sewer Shark were. Digital Productions released a series of 4 music video programs called Making a Video between 1992 and 1993. Pretty much the point of the games was to edit the video in real time to satisfy the artists of the songs. They had NXS, Crisscross, Power Factory, and Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch.
Yeah. Can you feel it, baby?
Yo! What are you doing? Pick up the pace. Get busy. Do it.
Yeah.
Hey! Is anybody out there?
Take my videos.
Now that's tight. Word.
And then, on September 23rd, 1993, Sega released what would eventually become a cult classic in the Sonic series. When it came out, Sonic CD played differently than the previous games. Like, a lot different. It's a lot to explain. I might make a video that's entirely dedicated to Sonic CD in the future, but one of the main reasons is the main point of this video, the soundtracks. Sega was hoping to take full advantage of Red Book Audio, making Sonic CD the first game to do so in the series. Red Book Audio is a set of standards for CDs, one of which being a sample rate of 44.1 kHz. This allowed for high quality audio. Naofumi Hataya and Masafumi Ogata were in charge of the Japan and PAL region soundtracks. Every level was given its own basic track for the present time period, and then the track was remixed towards past, good future, and bad future variants. These variants alter the moods of the levels. The music is comprised of various types of EDM, house, techno, and New Jack Swing, which is a mixture of hip-hop, dance pop, and R&B. A variety of the game's tracks use samples from different songs. There's a lot of videos that talk about this with pretty good detail. I recommend watching them. Sega USA had a different idea of how they wanted the music to sound. Sega never confirmed as to why Hataya no Gata's music was scrapped for the North American release, although there's two widely known theories as to why they did so. The first being that American audiences would think the electric music would sound too weird. The second one, which is seemingly more accepted, is that Sega USA wanted a more serious sound for it. They had in-house musicians Spencer Nilsson and David Young make the new music. However, only a majority of the soundtrack could be remade. The past tracks weren't able to be redone, because unlike the rest of the soundtrack, they are made in PCM format like the Genesis games, and hard-coded into the levels. In late 2008, Sega 16 interviewed Spencer with various questions about the soundtrack rework. When asked about why Sega decided to rescore the game last minute, he responded with this. "I've heard many different opinions about which score is better, but I think it's a ridiculous argument. They really represent two completely different musical philosophies and approaches. My impression was that the American marketers at Sega USA wanted something a little more musically rich and complex, along with a theme song they might get some mileage out of while trying to promote the game. I think the controversy around the different versions of the soundtrack were really blown out of proportion. Honestly, I've had hundreds of people tell me they'd love the score I wrote for that game, and I'm sure the Japanese version has tons of fans as well. So everybody wins in the end, as it should be. After all,
it's only a game. Why you have to be mad?"
having listened to both versions, I don't think one is 100% better than the other. The American version has really good tracks, like Sonic Boom, Special Stage, and Quartz Quadrant. The Japanese Special Stage, Wacky Workbench, Collision Chaos, and the boss theme are nice too. What Spencer said about wanting it to sound more rich and complex does make sense to me. It enhances the replayability of the game, experiencing two different takes on the environments of the levels. Hey everybody, before the video ends, I just wanted to say thank you for watching. This is the first video I've ever made with actual effort and such going into it. It was a big passion project. It took a little while to make.
Ouch!
But I'll be honest, I'm really glad with how it turned out. I also want to thank everyone for the help and support they gave me. Without them, this video wouldn't be on here. So again, thank you very much for watching.